Hey everybody, and welcome back to another one of Mudflap's movie reviews. My name is Mudflap, and today I will be reviewing the Hulu original movie, Prey. Let's get started. Prey is directed by Dan Trachtenberg and stars Amber Midthunder, Stephanie Mathias, Dakota Beavers, and Julian Black Antelope. So I open this movie where we hear a voiceover just talking about how the main character Naru came to be a legend among the Comanche tribe. It was being told by Naru's granddaughter, and how they first got introduced to Predator back in 1719 in the Northern Plains, and how through Naru's courage and brilliance and being a hunter and figuring out how to deal with something that most of the people in the tribe didn't believe actually existed, she became a local hero, a war chief, and saved her tribe. So overall, I thought this movie was a pretty cool prequel movie to the Predator series. This is the Predator's first time on Earth, so we get to see how, all the other Predator movies, it seems that he has a lot of really high-tech advanced stuff, but this Predator had some pretty cool weapons that actually we haven't seen yet from any Predator so far. But it was pretty primal stuff versus what Predators in the more recent movies have had. But overall, it was about what I expected in terms of a prequel movie. It was definitely a different kind of prequel compared to the Predator movies that we've seen so far. It wasn't your typical Predator movie where, military guys or police officers, or it wasn't set in any modern day period, it was set way in the past. So that's what made this movie so unique. But also all the Predator's features that he had. Amazingly strong this Predator was, and how it was just such a shock to the Comanche tribe, and they didn't really know what it was. None of them really believed Naru about, they all thought it was a lion or a bear or something, but they, what she was describing was just like folklore to them, a ghost story. She spent most of her movie proving to her tribe and her family that she knew what she was talking about, she knew what she saw, and she had an idea of how to defeat it. She was very quick thinking, she was very resourceful, she made some really cool weapons. She just wasn't viewed as really an equal. Every other woman in the tribe just did their typical chores and gathering food and making, gathering food and cooking and all that, and all the guys went on and were hunters. Naru wasn't a hunter, but she was always so persistent on showing that she could be a hunter, and she was just a really cool character to have in this movie. And, the main focus and just how she figured out how the Predator worked pretty quickly also spoke to her, her high intelligence as a hunter. So this movie was pretty cool in like how it differed from everything else I spoke on. It was kind of a combination of a couple different genres, and I really thought that was cool. It was like a combination of like a more historical type aspect, because you got 1719, mainly Comanches were just in the area at that time, and then you had French fur trappers were in the area, so you could see, you understood point in history of what was going on. A lot of unsettled areas in that part of the world, but then you got it combined with sci-fi, which was really just a really unique combination that I like that the director Dan Trachtenberg just had that thought of, maybe I should mix it up a little and not just make it, pretty straightforward, like you're either on an alien planet or it's modern day. So compared to all the Predator movies that have been released so far, I'd say obviously the original is still the best one out there. The sequel to is also really great. But Prey is definitely up there for me when it compares to all the other Predator movies after that. None of the Predator movies that I've seen were bad. None of the Predator movies out there are bad. But obviously there are some differences and things I like better than others. This movie just kind of caught me by surprise. Just how different and unique it was. That's why it's kind of in its own category for me, and its own like ranking for me when it comes to comparing it to all the other Predator movies. But I really had a fun time watching this movie. It still had all the gore and all the blood and all the just amazing strength of Predator and just how vicious and brutal he was. But a lot of the classic Predator things that a lot of us have, really loved throughout the year, seeing what the next thing they're going to do for Predator is and where they're going to introduce him next. It was just really fun to watch, really enjoyable. Obviously, it's not a masterpiece. It's just one of those movies where you can if you're a fan of this genre, if you really like the Predators franchise, this is definitely the movie for you. It's on Hulu right now, so check it out if you haven't seen it yet. For favorite moments, I just really liked seeing how smart Naru was when it came to fighting Predator and what she had to do to compete with someone who had technology and weapons far beyond anything that her tribe had, but she was still able to make it a pretty fair fight. And of course the Predator, just how cool he looked, like he is very primal looking. Like this Predator was very different from all the other ones we've seen. Very first Predator to land on Earth, very primal looking, but super cool. His cool mask with the lasers, all of his cool weapons. You couldn't defeat this guy, you couldn't bring this guy down. I mean, he could take on anything and anyone, and nothing could stand in his way. Just really a lot of favorite moments, but just really how cool the Predator was and how he looked and everything about him was just really, really well done. So for Prey, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 Mudflaps. And before you go, drop in the comments below, what was your favorite Predator movie? And as always, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and I'll see you next time.